In the late 1960s, a shadow fell over Northern California, a phantom who haunted the streets and taunted the police. He called himself the Zodiac. This is the story of America's most elusive serial killer, a man who committed at least 5 brutal murders, claimed dozens more, and then vanished, leaving behind a legacy of terror and a puzzle that has baffled investigators for over half a century. His reign of terror began on a cold December night in 1968. On a lonely Lover's Lane in Benicia, high school students David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen were shot and killed. It was a senseless, brutal act that marked the beginning of a horrific pattern. 7 months later, another couple, Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau, were attacked in a similar fashion in Vallejo. Darlene died, but Mike miraculously survived, giving police their first, albeit fleeting, glimpse of the killer. Just hours after the second attack, a chilling phone call was made to the Vallejo Police Department. A monotone voice calmly confessed, "I wish to report a double murder. If you will go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway to the public park, you will find the kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Luger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye." This was the Zodiac's first direct contact, a bold and terrifying announcement of his presence. But he didn't stop at phone calls. A few weeks later, 3 major newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald, each received a letter. Inside were details of the murders only the killer could know, and something far more sinister, a 3-part cryptogram. The author demanded the ciphers be published on the front page, or he would kill again. His message was clear. This was not just about murder, it was a game. A local high school teacher, Donald Hardin, and his wife Betty, cracked the first code. The message was horrifying. It was a rambling, misspelled confession, revealing the killer's motive: collecting slaves for the afterlife. The Zodiac's audacity grew. In September 1969, he struck again, this time in broad daylight at Lake Berryessa. He approached college students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, wearing a bizarre, executioner-style hood. He tied them up before stabbing them repeatedly. Before leaving, he scrawled a message on their car door, listing the dates of his previous attacks. Cecilia died from her injuries, but Brian survived, providing a detailed account of the terrifying ordeal. His description of the killer's calm, methodical demeanor painted a portrait of a monster in complete control. Just 2 weeks later, the Zodiac claimed his final confirmed victim. San Francisco cab driver Paul Stein was shot in the head in the affluent Presidio Heights neighborhood. This murder was different. It was in the heart of the city, under the nose of the police. In a shocking blunder, responding officers briefly saw a man matching the suspect's description walking away from the scene, but let him go, believing they were looking for a black suspect based on an initial incorrect radio dispatch. The killer had slipped through their fingers. Days later, a letter arrived at the San Francisco Chronicle. It contained a piece of Paul Stein's blood-soaked shirt, undeniable proof that the author was the killer. He mocked the police for their incompetence, gloating about how he had walked away unnoticed. The letter also included a new threat: to shoot children on a school bus. Panic gripped the Bay Area. Police escorts were assigned to school buses, and a palpable fear hung in the air. The Zodiac was no longer a phantom on a lover's lane. He was a threat to everyone. Over the next few years, the Zodiac continued his campaign of terror through the mail. He sent more letters, more ciphers, and more taunts. He claimed responsibility for as many as 37 murders. He toyed with the media and the police, even calling into a live TV talk show. His letters were filled with threats, astrological symbols, and cryptic clues. One of his most famous ciphers, the 340-character code, remained unsolved for 51 years. It was a testament to his twisted intellect and his desire to maintain control of the narrative, even long after his physical attacks had ceased. The investigation became one of the most extensive and frustrating in American history. Thousands of suspects were considered. The lead investigators, like Dave Toschi of the San Francisco Police, the inspiration for Steve McQueen's character in Bullet, dedicated years of their lives to the case. They chased down countless leads, from disgruntled employees to military veterans with code-breaking skills. But every path led to a dead end. The Zodiac was always one step ahead, a ghost who left clues but never a trail. The most famous suspect was Arthur Lee Allen, a disgraced former schoolteacher with a checkered past. The evidence against him seemed compelling. He was identified by the survivor Mike Mageau years after the attack. He owned a Zodiac brand watch, and he allegedly made incriminating statements to friends. He lived in Vallejo, close to the first crime scene, and was in the vicinity of other attacks. However, his fingerprints and DNA did not match the partial samples collected from the letters, and his handwriting was not a conclusive match. Despite years of intense scrutiny, police could never build a strong enough case to charge him. Allen died in 1992, taking any secrets he might have had to the grave. After a final, cryptic letter in 1974, the Zodiac's correspondence abruptly stopped. He disappeared as suddenly as he had appeared. The question that has haunted generations is, why? Did he die? Was he imprisoned for another crime? Or did he simply decide his game was over, content to watch from the shadows as his legend grew? In 2020, a flicker of hope emerged. A team of amateur codebreakers from around the world, including American software engineer David Orenchak, finally cracked the infamous 340 cipher. The message read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner because I now have enough slaves to work for me." It was another taunt from the past, a chilling echo from a killer who was still playing his game half a century later. But it offered no new clues to his identity. Today, the Zodiac case remains officially open in several jurisdictions. It has become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring books, movies, and a legion of amateur detectives who continue to pore over the evidence, hoping to find the one clue everyone else missed. Private investigative groups, like the Case Breakers, have put forward their own suspects, but none have been officially confirmed. The Zodiac Killer is more than just a cold case. He is a modern myth, a symbol of pure, faceless evil. His true identity is a secret that may be lost to time forever. The Phantom of San Francisco has never been caught, his final riddle unsolved, leaving behind only a name and a question that still echoes. Who was the Zodiac? Thank you for watching. If you're fascinated by unsolved mysteries, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation.